I think we're gonna post it. NBA players on podcasts, right? Let me go back 10 minutes. NBA players on podcasts.
Right.
How do you feel about some of the discourse, right? Do you think it helps engage fans in a different way? Do you think you always hear the best content and conversation from what they say?
I think it's twofold because you want to see players that, like, you want to get the player perspective. I dig all that. I respect it. But a lot of the times, they don't have the proper, they're not breaking it down in a way that is well-rounded enough. They're thinking about it in context of how they play and what they want to see, right? An example that would be like, if you talking to Rashad McCants about his career. When Rashad McCants is talking, he talks as if he was one of the best that ever did it.
Yeah.
And that ego is important to be a great player.
Yeah.
But like, you gotta also recognize where you were within the context of what you did. At North Carolina, when you won the national championship and you was on the stage to be ready to be a lottery pick for where do you go first? Minnesota?
Yeah.
Right? You're gonna be there. Yeah. Up to that point, you was one of them.
Yeah.
In the league, was you one of them?
Absolutely not.
You're not.
Yeah.
Right? So when you get in these conversations with a Pat Beverly, and Pat Bev is talking crazy, you gonna be like, yo, Pat Bev, you wasn't even nice. Pat Bev gonna say,
I had a long career than you. Right?
Right?
And he did.
Perspective.
Yeah.
What he was asked to do in his role, he was able to carve it out just enough to get a go.
And maximize it.
Right? Then now you get on them shows, you got, who else is on there? You got Brandon Jennings.
Yeah.
Right? Brandon Jennings coming out of high school, that dude.
Yeah.
He's that dude.
Yeah.
In the league, was you that dude?
Halfway through your rookie career, you may have thought he was headed there, but how it turned out.
Right. Yeah. So it has to be some level. I understand and really breaking down what's what. Why is this person nice? What's the separation between, sometimes when you talk about like Allen Iverson or Dwayne Wade, those conversations get nuanced because yes, D Wade won more.
Yeah.
Allen was more influential.
Yeah.
Talent-wise, you're going to go AI maybe, but you could talk about what is talent if D Wade is a little bit more versatile.
Yeah. More durable.
Right?
No, not quite.
Right, so you start having those conversations. That's when it get a little dicey.
Yeah.
But when these guys get up there and they start talking as if they were that guy, regardless of level, it's like there has to be some type of understanding. I feel like players, when they analyze, they don't have that.
Yeah.
Right?
They don't.
And to me, the issue is that you take the athlete's word as law because they play. And it's like, perfect example. It's very polarizing, but Kobe.
Yeah.
When people speak about Kobe, they speak about Kobe with a level of reverence that he deserves. Otherworldly player, a true champion, somebody that worked hard to get every ounce of his ability out and play at a high level.
For sure.
Right? And in context to how he became that, he had to study the best.
Yeah.
The absolute best to ever play in the NBA. Right? By most accounts, right?
Yeah.
So for somebody who literally, everybody dreams of playing like Mike.
Yeah.
He literally executed it and took a version of Michael Jordan 1995 to 1998 and mastered it relative to his skill level. Kobe wasn't a freak athlete.
No.
Kobe, in terms of measurables, isn't the biggest.
No.
He's not the most physically imposing, but he got the mentality, and he has the will to put in the work to really put it on the floor.
Yeah.
So much so that what? And somebody will say, "Yo,
he just like that's Mike, son. Like I don't know who better, him or Mike, right? Like they do the same thing, right? Like post retirement, Mike, he's similar too, right? But he's not similar to Mike from 85 to 93. But like context is important.
Context is important, right? You start breaking down, understanding why it's a separation between certain players. So when you talk about Kobe, the first name you're gonna say always is LeBron James, right? And they'll say, oh, players choose Kobe more than LeBron because. And I'm saying, what you're saying would make sense, but you're not giving LeBron any type of credit for anything that he's doing relative to what you're giving Kobe Bryant credit for.
Because LeBron had killed y'all too. LeBron done wild on y'all too, right?
And you talk about generations and when LeBron played. LeBron played in the same generations as Kobe.
I think after a few years, people's memory get bad because people will say Mike and Kobe era, and Mike and Kobe are 13 years apart.
Right.
Kobe and LeBron are 6 years apart, right? So it's like, how do you all think that Kobe was a factor during Mike's era, but somehow LeBron and Kobe played in two different eras? Kobe and LeBron's careers encountered each other for 13 years, right? LeBron has a really early prime, right? It took Kobe some time to get right. So while Kobe's in the peak of his powers, LeBron's in his prime. LeBron's battling for the best player.
Kobe Bryant's peak is 2000 to 2013.
Yeah.
LeBron James comes in the NBA in 2003.
Yeah.
So that means for 10 years of Kobe's prime, they're playing together.
Yeah.
Right? And because LeBron James' prime starts a lot earlier than most players, he's able to say right away, I was that guy.
From 21, LeBron is a top 3 player in the NBA. Right?
And even at 19, he's at 27 a game.
The top 7 players.
Right. So those conversations get convoluted.
Yeah.
It's like it never existed.
Yeah.
And when we talk about because of the whole, like, I gotta bring it up. Rich Paul.
Yeah.
The whole Clutch Sports narrative building thing is very annoying. Because now retroactively, they are trying to build up certain things to make sure that LeBron has the argument for the greatest player of all time. Listen, it's polarizing. You're gonna have your Mike side, you're gonna have your LeBron side. I'm always gonna be Mike, and I respect LeBron. I got LeBron as a top 3 player ever, period. Nothing's gonna change that for me. But I respect what LeBron has done from 18 to now.
Yeah.
To have the pressure of Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
No player has ever had to do that.
No.
He's done that.
Yeah.
He is the closest to any player, in my opinion, to have a chance to really surpass Mike.
Yeah.
And that includes Kobe, who played just like Mike.
Yeah.
Just because you play like Mike doesn't mean you perform like Mike.
No.
Okay?
Yeah.
Cool. And that's with respect to what Kobe has done.
Yeah.
Because from 2000 to 2013, he revamped his whole career multiple times to show how dominant he has been amongst multiple generations. I respect it. But when I see Rich Paul go on a Pat McAfee show and say, oh, it wasn't a big 3, you can't say that.
Yeah, you can't. And you and not talk about nuance all the time, right? And it's important. It started as a big 3, right? And it was formed as a big 3. So, and I think to many folks, that's all nuance that matters.
That's all that matters.
For sure. Because we can integrate it. We can say, yeah, we know Bosh, and some folks don't, but we know Bosh makes like 8-9 games the 2012 when they won, right? And we know he didn't quite look the first guy after, but I think it was started as a big 3,
the intent is always to build the big 3.
Legit,
and
right?
And relative to what value is, right? He was still a valuable piece.
For
now,
sure.
he wasn't asked to score 25 like LeBron and D Wade, but he couldn't.
Yeah.
Right? And if you look at most big 3s, the third guy is not going to be asked.
Out, right?
Right, but it's still a big 3.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The intent there was to be a big 3.
Yeah.
Right? When Chris Bosh get that rebound against the Spurs, that's all the value he needs to make sure he solidifies his big three, right?
That series he wasn't scoring though.
He wasn't, but I'm saying just the fact that he got the rebound, got it to Ray, and it happened, that doesn't happen if Chris Bosh is not there.
Yeah.
Chris Bosh earned his name a part of the big three.
Legit.
Now, was he all NBA performer like D Wade next to LeBron? No.
Yeah.
But he was an all NBA player, and when they formed the big three, he was a part of it.
Yeah.
Right? The same could be said with Kevin Love. The same conversation.
Yeah.
Kevin going from Minnesota to Miami, to Cleveland, 30-30 games.
Yeah.
Double-double machine.
Yeah.
All NBA performer. That is what put him on the stage to be a part of that big three.
Yeah.
LeBron wanted to build that.
Yeah.
Did it become that? I mean, did it manifest as that? Probably not. He didn't play.
Yeah, Cleveland maybe more so than Miami, right? But the intent was that, right?
It's always that.
And I think we can have a few combos of what you thought it was compared to what it actually was, right?
So that right there, that's relative to perception, right? Like what you breaking down, or how what are you valuing versus what somebody else is valuing? That's real conversation. That'll take us forever.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, in totality, when you look at it, you're not gonna say, "Oh, now."
Don't say Miami not a big three, right? I think I'm not so opposed to saying the Cavs weren't a big three, right? I'm not opposed to that, right? I understand the sentiment, right? But I'm like, Kevin Love is an all-star. Kyrie's really young, and when they paired, they'd be like, okay, cool. Like, I think that Miami had shades of a big three for longer than Cleveland does, right? I think Miami looked like a big three in year 1 and 2, right?
So does that happen to Kevin Love if it didn't already happen to Chris Bosh? I think because Chris Bosh is the first version of it with LeBron.
Yeah,
it's like it's a bit more amplified. Whereas when it starts to happen with Cleveland, it's like, well, he's in the Chris Bosh role now.
Yeah.
Whereas before there was no Chris Bosh role. Chris Bosh had to do the thing and be that, and then you'd be like, okay, now Kevin, you have a precedent to follow to understand the value that you have, even though you're not putting up the same numbers.
Yes. I also think that there was this idea that Kevin Love's game would fit a little better
because he was a better shooter.
Because it was more of a natural ability to space the floor as opposed to somebody who has shooting ability, who we wanted to see how much he took the floor. So I think that looked like a workout, and I want to say that while D-Wade was injury prone as well, I think Kyrie's injury proneness and also Kyrie leaving, I think gave Kevin Love a chance to redeem himself in a way that could have been beneficial to him, in a way that Chris Bosh quite never had, right?
True.
And I think even when Kyrie is gone, Kevin Love don't look like a number 2. Now the argument there is that's because LeBron killed his game, his confidence is going, right? But we don't make those excuses for grown men, right? It's like, well, you the second guy, you gotta play, right?
Right.
And
in 2018, they didn't really have a second
option. 11 points in the first, 11.7 for the first, 11.5, I think, in the first series. Down like below 13 against Boston. So like, what's happening here? He played well against Toronto. They smoked them, and he didn't play bad at all against Golden State, right? But it was like, what's with this ebb and flow? This is a team searching for offense. You have an all-star pedigree. Why aren't you there, right? So I like Kevin Love more than Bosh, but I think that I'm okay with Miami being called a big three a lot more than I am with Cleveland, because how bad Kevin Love played, even without a second player.
That's the manifestation of that big three. Yeah. But the intent was always there for them to be a big three. The formula that LeBron wanted to follow was big three.
Let me make sure I had help. Now, whether or not those guys were adequate enough, I mean, you can't nobody can foresee that.
Right.
But that was what they were going for. Right. For sure. So
and so now, and I feel like it diminishes or is trying to diminish, even if Rich Paul don't mean it this way, it's gonna diminish, or it's an attempt to diminish what Chris Bosh meant.
Yeah, for sure. It's messed up, right?
Right.
It don't look right. Yeah.
For me, so, and I feel like, and I also feel this way about Bron when he's doing the More Than a Game podcast, or with Steve Nash, whatever, and he's talking about how he got the most out of the 2007 Cavs.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And he says, well, when you look at that roster, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
How do you do? I'm like,
he can leave it alone.
Leave that alone because let me tell you why. You know what you have to do to get it done.
Yeah.
You got to carry the weight. You got to score 29 of the last 30.
Yeah.
Right? 25 straight to beat the Pistons. You got to do that. Right? But in some respects too, you got to respect the fact that Boobie Gibson scored 31.
Yeah.
Boobie did that.
Yeah.
Right? There's games where Varejao asserted himself as a great role player and did his job, set the screens, did all these great things. That was everything for that team.
The most that they could do with what they had.
Right. Yeah. So when you were stepping into these games, you're not saying, damn, we're going to lose to New Jersey. I got it. You saying, no, we're going to win because I'm me. Yeah. Right? Yeah. We're going to figure it out. You're not going to say, damn, we're going to lose to Detroit. No, you figured out how to win. Yeah. So now when you lose, it's like, damn, see what you had to do? Nah, you lost. Okay. But like, let others say what you had to do.
I wish he would have left that one alone. That was like, don't bring up the 07, right? It happened. And I think most reasonable folks, that's who should care about who reasonable, who unreasonable, going wild out anyway. Reasonable folks say that team had no business being there, right? He got swept.
And they going to say it for you. Yeah, you don't got to say that.
It looks a bit in poor taste, right? Leave that part out, right? We know it's true. You can feel it's true, right? I'm sure a lot of people feel like, man, they on some bullshit. What kind of fly is this? You don't gotta say it, right?
Now, I'm gonna use the same situation, different person. Allen Iverson. Yeah. Now, Allen Iverson going to the 2000 finals. Yeah. Everybody talks about what he did, and he did it. Never taking nothing away from my dog. But that was a specific team for him to be successful. I'm not sure if he's able to do that with another team. Now, when somebody says, yo, he didn't have enough talent, in the same breath, those hard hat guys that were scrappy and did all those things, they made up for the things that AI didn't do. Right? He didn't have to do. They're the ones that are going to get the offensive rebounds. They're the ones that's going to set the screens. Right? Him being a 2 guard allowed for Eric Snow, in a normal situation, he's a 3rd string point guard. He don't take shots. Larry Brown said, oh, I need him because he's not worried about shots. I need Allen to take shots to open up everything else for us. Him taking 40 shots opens up an opportunity for Tyrone Hill. Opens up an opportunity for George Lynch. So when you see Braun do it with the 2015 Cavs or the 2007 Cavs, it's like, see, the precedent is there. You could do it. I wouldn't diminish my teammates for the sake of propping myself up because what that's going to do is going to put more amplified pressure on you to say, well, what do you do when you got the talent?
Yeah, right. And we're losing part of it, right?
You gotta eat that.
Right. And it was so long ago, bro. It's almost 20 years ago.
Right. So I know you asked me about the player podcast but I'm saying when they do that, there's nobody there to really hold them accountable or say or give them pushback. They just say things. And nobody's like, well, I don't know about that, bro. Remember when you was at... Nobody's there to tell Brandon Jennings, yo, chill.
I will say for the most time, LeBron James is discussing basketball, right?
Right.
He don't get into narrative and propaganda too much, right? Maybe more so now, but Win the Game podcast is definitely trying to break down the game of basketball.
Right.
That's missing. That's a beautiful thing, right? But there are the moments where just like, leave that alone, man. You don't got to say that, right? Like, that ain't cool.
So particularly with him because of who he is, it's definitely going to be more magnified because he's already a polarizing figure. But I'm saying that type of thing happens often with players when they own these parts. It's like
they got free reign and there's no check.
There's no check and balance.
The gospel, right?
Because the player said it. It's like, okay, yes, players might. I'm bringing it back to Kobe because that's an overarching example. But I'm saying when somebody says, "Oh, yeah, Kobe," over LeBron. They use similar sentiments, right? How he played, mentality, stuff like that. But nobody ever says, well, what about when LeBron did this from such and such years to such and such years?
That's all I'm waiting for. Like, y'all don't remember this?
Right.
Like, y'all have seen it. I hope y'all have. Y'all discussing it. Yeah,
so is that part of the checks and balances from a player podcast standpoint that I just don't agree with? Yeah. I'm like, and usually what they do is when you look at the structure of it, they'll have the players, then they have the moderator who's not an athlete, and they'll be like, okay, well, and they pose the question, and then they just go, and then it goes viral, and it's like, yo, you saw what such and such said, and I'm like, who's there to tell them, nah, you wildin'? Yeah, that's it. It's like, or if somebody is to say something, maybe we're talking about like stats or something, because players. I'm saying I don't think it's their responsibility to always remember stats, because
sometimes they don't remember. Sometimes like that didn't happen.
Right. And it's like, who did say, nah, that's not what happened? Right.
It's crazy.
That never happens. No. Or you said you did this, but that's not what happened either. You were this guy. The person that you're talking about, you were this guy. And the idea that there's never that push and pull, or the, you know what I'm saying? That's the issue I have more so with that. You know what I mean? What happened?
2 games. Frank T.
Isaiah Rose.
Cool. Look at this.
I have my mic on. Yeah, it's still on.